Everyone, here I am with another Taekook concert. Third person POV. The narrow airplane vessel seems to stretch endlessly as Taehyung shuffled forward, one hand gripping his carry-on bag while the other desperately tried to keep his purse from slipping off his shoulder. His heart raced, particularly from the effort and the particularly from the sea irritation bubbling inside him. Travel from New York to Seoul was not supposed to be this stressful, but the last-minute booking being paired with insufferable co-worker Jungkook only added fuel to the fire. Finally, after reaching his row of seats, its mood soared further when his eyes landed on the two tiny, crammed-up seats that waited for them. "You have got to be kidding me," he exclaimed, flinging his paws into the window side seat. "And they expect me to sit for 14 hours in this?" A deep voice sounded off behind him, lashed with annoyance. "Can you lower your voice? Be glad we even got seats on this flight." Jungkook snapped as he approached the board, shoulder brushing past Taehyung in his narrow space. Jungkook, the golden boy of their office, was everything. Young, dispatched, arrogant, overly confident, and a magnet for unwanted attention. Their professional facade for getting along had dropped the second they left the office. "Don't lecture me like you are my dad," Tang shot back, struggling to lift the carry-on bag into the overhead apartment. Jungkook sighed heavily, setting his own bag down before stepping closer. Without a word, he grabbed Taehyung's bag and shoved it into the compartment with ease. "Next time, pack lighter," he muttered. Taehyung's jaw tightened. I don't ask for your help, and yet you got it," Jungkook retorted, sliding onto the aisle seat. Loped into his own seat, crossing his arms as he glared at the armrest tape. The tension between them was palpable, and it only grew worse when Taehyung had to repeatedly ask Jungkook to move on so he could go to the restroom. "How many times are you planning to get up? Are you a toddler?" Jungkook grumbled after the third time. "Don't act like you are not enjoying the view every time I pass by," Taehyung retorted, smirking when he noticed Jungkook's ear turn red. Failing to come up with a comeback, Jungkook slid his headphones on, determined to ignore him. But Taehyung's satisfaction was short-lived when he returned to find Jungkook flexing his gesture grin at the flight attendant. Her lighter rang in Taehyung's ear, flaming the growing irritation in his chest. "Had fun flirting with her?" Taehyung asked sarcastically as he slid down back into his seat. Jungkook's lip curled into a sly smirk. "At least she is not winning like you." Taehyung opened his mouth to fire back, but the words died on his tongue when Jungkook turned to face him fully. His dark eyes bored into Taehyung's, and for the moment the world around them seemed to fade. "What now?" Jungkook asked lazily, his voice softer as though Taehyung had drained to fight out of him. "Nothing," Taehyung mumbled, tearing his gaze away and pretending to focus on the screen in front of him. The silence between them stretched until Taehyung let out a loud sigh. "This flight doesn't even have good movies." Jungkook turned to him sharply. Will you stop? God, I wish there was a way to shut you up. Taehyung has beaten you. Before he could finish, Jungkook leaned in, his hand gently gripping Taehyung's shoulder as he pressed his lips against Taehyung's in a sudden impulsive kiss. Taehyung froze, his mind blank as he felt the softness of Jungkook's lips against his own. The kiss was brief, but it left a lingering warmth that suppressed through his chest. Jungkook pulled back, his expression unreadable. Thought of a way, he said quietly, "You can't just." Taehyung's word were cut off as Jungkook leaned in again, this time with more intense. The kiss was deeper, so slower, and Taehyung found himself leaning into it despite his initial shock. When Jungkook finally pulled back, Taehyung stared at him, his cheek flushed. What was that for? Jungkook shrugged. You talk too much, Taehyung blinked, still trying to process what had just happened. Don't overthink it. Jungkook added, his voice quicker now. Maybe I just wanted to. Taehyung's heart raced as he turned to face the window, unable to hide the small smile tugged at his lips. The rest of the flight passed in relative silence, but the tension between them had shifted. Every now and then Taehyung would catch Jungkook's stealing glances at him, and though neither of them said anything, the unspoken connection between them grew stronger with each passing hour. By the time they landed in Seoul, Taehyung wasn't sure what would come next, but he knew one thing for certain: 14 hours on a cramped airline had changed everything between them. Taehyung was blushing over his thoughts when, as the plane landed in Seoul, the passengers began disembarking. Jungkook couldn't help but smirk at the sight of the still flushed Taehyung gathering his things. The younger man flumed with the bag stripes, his pink cheeks betrayed. Need help again, or are you planning to wrestle with that bag for another hour? Jungkook teased, slicing his own duffel bag over his shoulder with ease. Taehyung shot him a glare, clenching his carry-on tightly. I don't need your help, Jungkook. I can manage. Sure you can, Jungkook replied smoothly, his lips curled into a playful grin. You looked so capable of the flight. Start again, Taehyung muttered, his face growing redder as he walked ahead towards the exit. Jungkook followed closely behind, his long stride easily matching Taehyung as they stepped onto the airport and onto the bustling arrival area. Jungkook couldn't resist leaning closer to Taehyung, his voice low and teasy. You know, Taehyung, I have been thinking. Taehyung glanced at him wearily. That sounds dangerous. Jungkook clenches and faced by the jab. Don't you think it's time you settle down? Taehyung stopped it in his track, turning to face Jungkook with his wide eyes. What? You hurt me? Jungkook's gaze was unwavering, his smirk still forming into place. You are always complaining about how exhausted life is. Maybe you should settle down with someone who knows how to handle you. Taehyung blinked, catching completely off guard. And who exactly do you think that someone is? Oh, I don't know, Jungkook replied, pretending to ponder as he stretched his chin. Maybe someone tall, handsome, successful, and incredibly patient. He stepped closer, his voice dropping to a near whisper. Someone like me? Taehyung's heart skipped a beat, but he refused to let Jungkook have the upper hand. Patience, you don't even have make me laugh, Jungkook. I'm serious, Jungkook said, his tone softening as he looked into Taehyung's eyes. You drive me crazy, you know that? But I can't seem to stay away from you. Maybe it's time we stop pretending to hate each other. Taehyung stared at him, his mind racing. Was Jungkook serious? Settling down with you? Taehyung finally said, trying to sound incredulous despite scope, but his lips betrayed with a small smile. You are impossible, and yet here I am. Jungkook said with a smirk. They think about it, you might just find that I'm exactly what you have been looking for. What? With that, he grabbed things back without waiting for permission and began walking towards the car, waiting for them home. Jungkook Taehyung called after him, tore between annoyance and amusement as he hurried to catch up. As they stepped into the car together, the teasing smirk on Jungkook's face didn't waver, and Taehyung couldn't help but wonder if maybe, just maybe, there was a hint of truth behind the flirtation. The end. What do you think about it? Was it good enough? Did it make you laugh or not? What you feel about while reading this one shot? Comment it down. See you again with another one. Till then, take care. Say bye.